Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for the final round back nine coverage of the 2019 Delaware Disc Golf Challenge National Tour event. Coverage brought to you in part by the PDGA, MVP, and Disc Baron, along with Legit Disc Golf and Savage Apparel. We're moving on to hole number 10, and things are not about to get easier. Hole 10 is 485 feet, a par 4. And there's the initial right to left elbow, we'll call it, as you have to bend to find the landing zone, hopefully center fairway, and then you're going to have a challenging approach shot up to a basket that's at the end of a tunnel. And here's Jessica Weese with a backhand on hole 10. And just when I thought it was clean, it actually kicks a tree and then pushes a little bit to her right. Catrina keeping it low. And that's a classic judge thrown by Kristin Tattar. It's an ESP Undertaker by Alisha. And Alisha with what looks like not necessarily just closest to the pin, but more so the best angle. And an incredible shot there by Kristin after the patent pending stance. Not able to get a run up there. And Kat, who is also in really good position, that's a little bit short and for a little more skip to it. As you may or may not have heard in the front nine, I do appreciate you guys for coming in and joining us, watching a great recovery shot by Weese. In order to get the video out as quickly as possible, I'm just giving you the single person commentary. A few of the women graciously said that they could do it, but it wasn't going to happen until Monday afternoon or Monday evening, and that was going to push everything back at least 6 to 8 to 12 more hours. So I'll give you guys the play-by-play, but also let plenty of the golf do the talking. And Alicia's not able to connect. Her putting was so phenomenal in rounds 1 and 2. And it has not been bad today, but it's just a bit off. And Catrina, that may make for her third or fourth birdie look that's hit just off the front of the basket. It seems like her angle is dialed. It's just a matter of the power. And that could be a little bit of fatigue. I mean, they've been out here playing one of the most challenging courses in the world for now 3 rounds. So if you're coming up a little short because you're 10% fatigued, I could understand that. Needless to say, she's got the easy tap in par, and she's sitting on a comfortable lead, which increases by 1 as Kristin walks away with the bogey. We're going to move over to hole 11. Again, all drove previews brought to you in part by Jomez Production. Thank you guys so much for the assist. Really the best in the business. I'd tell you to subscribe, but let's be real, you're already subscribed to them. Come on. We're looking at this tunnel shot on 11. You just have to throw it straight and hope to not hit some of the trees. As we're looking at the pin the women play to is right there. Double kick here by Weese. And that is putting it lightly, Kat. She said a very unkind roll. And I'm going to go ahead and say I think that is the first poor tee shot that Kat has had. And then it was a little extra salt in the wound. But she has been just so focused and so laser line on most of these drives, and Alisha just bending right around all the trees, no problem. And then Catrina showing why she's in the lead. What a great recovery shot. And a great shot getting pin high to the left side by Weese. And as if Catrina had no problem off the tee whatsoever, here she is inside the circle, putting for her par. And Alisha finds the tree in her hyzer angle. She throws a beat-up challenger for turnover approaches, just like that one. A little galactic AVR action. And if that's not the definition of a successful scramble, I don't know what is. Solid work there by Catrina. There it is. Great birdie here by Kristin. So she's able to pick up a single stroke. And with a few of Alisha's struggles, we'll see Weese has distanced herself a little bit more from the start of the round. I'm going to move over. We'll head over to the daunting hole number 12, 520 feet. Hole preview action brought to you by Legit Disc Golf. You really want to make it to the bend right about there where you see that marker on the ground. I'm guessing that marker, in fact, probably says 300 feet. Then you're going to weave, bob, weave, whatever it is, to then come to this very, very dangerous, treacherous green. I want to make it sound unsafe. It's definitely mentally challenging, that's for sure. And right out in the middle, we see Kristin. Jessica hits a, we'll say, an all too common left side tree there. Cat's flip up finds an early tree. And unfortunately, Alisha follows suit. Alicia's second shot. Here's Kat's third. Now she's going with the forehand roller, just trying to get at least to the turn or the bend. And everyone having their share of struggles as Jessica's pops up and then catches an edge and rolls out of bounds. The road and beyond there are out of bounds. And Alicia's fourth hits. She can't tell, but that actually rolls out of bounds. So the struggle continues there. And Kristin's now ready to finally throw just her second shot. Jessica from a meter inside the OB line. And Kat finds a tree directly in front of her as well. All right, these trees are just not being nice at all. This is Kristin for her third. And as if the trees aren't being mean enough, she does get a little bit of a roll there. But she's at least on the green, looking at a putt. And another OB here for Alisha. As she is self-admitted, it feels like the struggle bus has pulled up and parked in her fairway. Unfortunately, it needs to maybe plow over a few trees for her. She's really not loving hole 12, nor is Jessica. That's going to get up and roll, but it needs to stop before it finds the OB road. So she's safe and looking uphill at about 38 feet. I really wish I had a way to sugarcoat what's going on here, but I don't. Oh no. Stop. And Weese is next to the basket. I believe that's going to be a tap in for triple bogey. Alisha looking at her 9. Thankfully that sits down for her. And she'll finally tap in. And not the 10 anybody's ever hoping to claim or call out for you. When somebody says you're a 10. Not in this regard. And this is Kat for her double. No, correction, I apologize. Her triple bogey, still doing work. So we're looking at a triple bogey by Kat. I believe a triple bogey by Jessica when she gets up and cleans out. A single bogey here by Kristin, who's going to pick up strokes with that. And then the 10. I don't know what a six-time bogey is. We don't need to repeat that. All right, we're moving over to hole 13. Unfortunately, 29 strokes later. This one is another tight tunnel. I know that's all too obvious when you're out here playing at Iron Hill, but it does have a gentle bend to the left side. I love the straight shot. Maybe it comes in just inside of this little patch of trees, or maybe you're coming in low and it possibly gets a skip up on a hyzer line. And there was a little clarification as to if maybe it was an 11 or a 10. Later they talked about it and they think they got it dialed back into it being a 10. Yeah, just unfortunately, just a lot of conversation and a lot of throws, and not one that any of us hope to relive. Weese is clean for about 3/4 of the fairway. And Katz gets a double kick and finds her out of bounds. So with the 2 strokes that Kristin picked up on the previous hole, Kat's lead has been, we'll say, sliced into just 3. And now she's found herself out of bounds. And Alisha gently fades to the left side, which is the good spot to be in. Clearly not bringing that out of bounds into play. This is a sonic. Double G sonic action as she goes deep of the pin. Kat was, we'll say, fortunate enough to have a clean look at the basket to try and get up and down. Rarely do you have such a clean look out here. Alisha's birdie is short, but she makes up for it. Solid putt. This is Jessica for her par. A high right chain, bring it on in. Catrina with the right amount of power finds it. She'll walk away with just the bogey, but that's going to give up a stroke here to Kristin. Moving over to hole 14. This is dead straight. I really like this hole. This I know maybe there's a trend. The 2 or 3 easier holes on the course are the ones that I seem to like the best. Maybe I'm just that bad of a golfer, but I do really like hole 14. Straight ahead, plenty of fairway on that left and right side to work with, but ultimately it's a straight shot. We've got a claymore by Kristin and kind of an unfortunate skip as it hit off the rock. Had that skip straight, I think she would have been right next to the pin. And a little bit of a skip action there by Jessica. And if that stays clean, I feel like she's right next to the basket, but trying to use a little bit too much of that left side. And Kat, what a beautiful flip up. I'm guessing that's her M2, and it is. And when she is dialed in with that, she's just deadly. Alisha trying to fight her way back out to the fairway. Looks like I'm checking U-disc. And a good approach. I believe that might be a Tear Bear stamp zone. I told her if those don't start going into the basket, I'll give her a refund on it. Weese can't convert for the birdie. Kat getting a double check that she's good to clear out. And I haven't been keeping track, but I feel like that's at least her 5th that was just short. And she seems to be at circle's edge or maybe a little deeper. So those certainly aren't long putts that she's missing. Or I'm sorry, they're not short putts that I expect her necessarily to make, but really just inches off as she is right in the front of the basket. All right, we're moving over to hole 15. Comes in at 295 feet. I know we talked about it in round 2. This definitely plays longer than 295. You're throwing essentially straight up this hill as we navigate around, trying to get through the small gaps that are provided, and the basket is actually off and to the left, and I know you're seeing it to the right there. That's to the MPO position, but it's off and to the left. In fact, just watch Kristin's shot here. Yeah, so it's right there. And we didn't see it either. Like, it's like that disc just absolutely disappeared. It did hit a late tree, but her nor I thought maybe I just somehow lost it in my viewfinder. She's like, no, I didn't see it either. And she's going to be actually kind of close to Kat. Alisha trying to pipe it right up the middle, following suit from what we saw from Kristin. Maybe not quite as close, but a really good shot. And Catrina, maybe a little lapse in either placement or mental focus there momentarily. Alisha, who made a solid putt here yesterday. Just off. She'll have to settle for the par. And Jessica, short one, getting away from her again. And Kristin Tattar, just loving hole 15. All 3 rounds. Birdie for Kristin. She only had to make one, we'll say, medium range putt, I believe, during the first round. So incredible. So that's going to be a 2-stroke swing between Kristin and Kat. And just like that, the lead has been cut to a single stroke with 3 holes left to play. Thousands or millions of feet yet to throw, I'm not sure. But we're going to move through the tunnel here on 16. Par 4. You'd love to land anywhere right around here, as this seems to be the good position. If you can get any deeper, that's great. That's a bonus. I feel like if you hit the initial gap, you're going to walk away with a 4. If you get past that initial gap, you could be looking at the birdie 3 as we play right here to the pin that you just saw on that right side. Here's Kristin. She's maybe got a little bit of momentum. Coming off the birdie on 15 and managed to pick up 2 strokes on 15 as she has trimmed that lead to just a single stroke between her and Kat. ESP Thrasher coming in for Alisha. And I believe that's the Vulcan we've seen a few times by Jessica Weese, and really just a perfect shot. That's exactly what you're trying to do. And Catrina does find the fairway, finds a little silver lining, so to speak. And so here's her second shot. A little low, but not in any real trouble there. She's looking to be able to get up and down from there. And definitely a misfire here by Kristin, who's trying to apply the pressure. Alisha from that left side finds the right side. And Jessica asking for it to slow down, and a great approach shot just past the pin. Kristin Tattar doing a little bit of work from that right side fairway. She's looking to get up and down and walk away with a par. If Kat can get up and down and walk away with a par with a great shot there, that's going to keep them likely knotted up if they can both can their putts for par. And Weese, with a few well-executed shots, is going to walk away with the birdie. That's going to push her to +5 overall. Catrina taps in and has what should be a single stroke advantage still. Both her and Kristin able to perform a little scramble out here on hole 16. Shout out to Josh there in the background, Alicia's husband and caddy for the weekend, out here helping hustle through and make it work out at the Iron Hill course. Hole 17, 860 feet. Just incredible. I mean, piping a very narrow gap the entire way as it bends somewhat from right to left. Then kind of serpentines back, goes a little bit of left to right, plays to the elevated green. I don't know what more you want in a long, challenging, very difficult hole. And that's covering plenty of ground And a really good tee shot there by Jessica. Kristin staying tree free, which in itself is an absolute win out here on hole 17. A thrasher for Alisha, and pretty much matching the shot that we just saw by Kristin. This is an X3 by Catrina.
I guess there's a fairway there too.
And Jessica agrees there's apparently a fairway up there, and I'm not sure if she was trying to go for that high gap or not, but either way, the result is perfect. And Kristin's going to have to apply her pressure as she's running out of time and room. And another great shot here on 17. Understable turnover. I believe this hole took 22 or 27 minutes to play when we were here during the first round, and these ladies are moving through much quicker this round. Of course, that's in the midst of the rain and nasty conditions, but this hole, I was going to say, could eat you for lunch. You're just about ready to go to lunch as we're getting ready and moving into a little past noon. This hole can take you to lunch, maybe? Low left side for Weese. Here is Kristin's third shot. And she needed more height to it. Also the third shot by Catrina, as these two are matching one another. Catrina gets skinny past that tree, but finds a later tree. So they're essentially in similar spots. Cat with a one-stroke lead. And everyone can feel just how close things are getting. I guess Cat's a little bit closer. And surprising to see Kristin that short. Cat's going to try and make an adjustment, and picture perfect for Catrina. Weese's Alicia's attempt at par is just short. I don't think she swore at us, but Kristin's certainly frustrated, knowing that she needed to stay at least on par with Cat, but Kristin's going to take the bogey 6, which is so unfortunate considering how good her first few shots were. Cat, however, capitalizes and now has a 2-stroke advantage going into the final hole. And we're going to move over to the 54th hole in regulation after a very long weekend out here at the Iron Hill Disc Golf Course. Huge thanks again to MVP, along with Legit, Savage, and Disc Baron. Please check out and support any of those sponsors, and the PDGA, of course, helping bringing you the coverage. Hole 18 plays as one of the easier holes out here. Gallery out in full force. After the high fives, Catrina turned to the gallery and thanked them and said, "We appreciate you guys not only coming out, but then sticking around after our struggles on hole 12 and making a little bit of light of the challenges they had out there, understandably." So she has the 2-stroke advantage. We're going into the final hole, and she just laces the drive here on hole 18. Trying to close things out here on Kristin. Kristin's got to at least match that. And I'm not sure if Kristin was feeling any of the pressure. She knows that she needed to have a couple of excellent shots and get probably the birdie to have any chance at catching Cap. But whatever the case was, it isn't going to be enough probably from there. But anything can happen as Alisha throws her tee shot, staying completely clean. This is from the left side of the fairway. And she's trying to fight to get out, but she's low and left on that. Alisha trying to work that beat up buzz out and around. And she can be aggressive here, but not going to be enough. If Kat can somehow just get up and down, she's got actually a stroke or two to play with. Weese's shot goes deep of the basket. And I've never seen a drive this far by our FPO division in the last 2 years. And Catrina puts herself right next to the pin, trying to secure a title here on the Iron Hill course. And Weese for birdie has that one slip out. Kristin, solid putt to finish out the tournament. She will be your runner-up. Congratulations. Solid performance, just not enough to catch Catrina Allen. And Weese will tap out. Slide out and then tap in. Jessica Weese, your 5th place finisher. And it was great to see Alisha Schafer for 2 rounds here. But your champion, as she's moving into position, looks to be Catrina Allen. Solid performance, great recovery to come back as she fell just short at the World Championships a week ago. Mo there on the camera. Thank you to all of the supporters, Disc Baron and MVP, the PDGA, and all of you out there watching. Give us a comment and win something. Here's Todd with the call.
Your 2019 Delaware Disc Golf Challenge champion, PDGA National Tour winner, Catrina Allen.
I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and that was my video blog. I'm joined by our National Tour winner, the champion, Catrina Allen. Kat, I'm going to start near the end here. I know there was a lot of golf this weekend, but if there was any doubt about you closing this out, you absolutely pured 17 and almost played it to perfection. And then you did the same on 18. Were you feeling how close you guys were?
I didn't know, actually. I honestly didn't. In fact, Sarah Lamberson was walking with me, and when I was walking to my drive, I was like, I can just get a 4 if I have to, right? She's like, yeah. And I was like, she's like, you have a couple strokes. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I got up there, and it was even, not to be like, oh, it was such an easy shot, because every shot is nerve-wracking when there's this many trees around. But yeah, I actually didn't know. I was like, I felt like on this type of course, like we're kind of all been talking about, you don't necessarily always have control of. Even if you throw what you think is a great shot, you might be behind a tree, you might have no gap, you might have to just pitch forward. And so I didn't want, that's already enough to deal with. I didn't want to know what was going on, because I can't control what's going on, you know, with Kristin or anybody else. And, you know, that was kind of my plan for the weekend is you can throw a great shot and it might not get a great result. And how you react and how you keep fighting is what's going to give you an opportunity this weekend. And so when the 7s and 11s happened for us, and then on the next hole even, I was like proud of myself for like forgetting and throwing a great drive, and then it kicked OB, and there were so many moments where I felt like I could have been thinking about stroke swings and things like that, but then I have to know that that can also happen to everyone else, and we're all feeling it. So.
Everybody's battling out here, and one of the things that we noticed very early on in the tournament, I felt like it carried throughout, is your putting was pretty much on point. Some really solid putts. You had maybe one or two that you would, love to have back, but everyone does, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So your putting was there anything you did in the last week, or was it just a matter of a little bit of different focus?
No, I just I changed putters. I don't know.
Sure.
I feel like that's what most people do. Sometimes, that's honestly the only thing I did. I kept same amount of practice putting, same routine, and just maybe the different putter made me feel comfortable. I don't know.
Well, Jimmy the TD said that he listens to your feedback along with so many other players out here. Anything you'd like to say to the world, either about the course or anything else as we close out this National Tour event?
No, I love that. I love that he does that. I want to say 2015 was my first time here, and I love that he was like, what do you think, and what about this, and what about that, and he likes to sit and talk back and forth with you, and I appreciate that in a TD, because that's how the courses get better, is if we work together, and so I really appreciate that. And then there was someone out here who just plays here who decided to fix the tee boxes. He told me, I just did it because I slip when I play out here. But either way, I just love their passion for their course out here.
It's a beautiful track, a difficult track. We hope that you enjoyed the coverage all weekend long. Thank you to all of the players and the sponsors and supporters, and also, of course, thanks to our National Tour for organizing as we're here with the PDGA. For Catrina Allen and Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, she's your Iron Hill champion. We'll see you at the next one. Nice work.
Yes, thank you.
Solid play. Awesome.
Yeah,
nice
thanks.
work.